Good afternoon, parents. This is Mr. Fosnot. Just going to take a few moments of your time today to talk about the evacuation drill that we have planned for tomorrow, Wednesday, May 6th. Just so you're aware of what's going on, we are going to be conducting a full evacuation drill for all students, K through 12, tomorrow to prepare for transporting kids to an alternate location. This will be in case we had an extensive fire incident, a structural collapse, maybe a threat to the school, like a bomb threat, or in worst case scenario, a shooting situation, which God forbid we hope would never happen. What we'll be doing tomorrow, again Wednesday, about 2 o'clock, and we are going to be just using a fire drill, fire alarm, which we have to do every month to evacuate the kids. We'll be letting them go to their normal evacuation areas, and then kind of role-playing that this is a longer ordeal. We're going to be stuck outside for a while, so instead of staying outside, we're going to move you to an alternate location. We're going to be gathering the kids and moving them via a bus to an alternate location, doing a quick head count, making sure we have everybody, then bringing them back. That should take no longer than 30 minutes. We're projecting for tomorrow. Be prepared for a test message. Somewhere along that, you're probably going to get one of my staff members who will be sending you a parent link message, maybe a call or a text, just to make sure that they understand how to use the system in case there was an emergency. And really, parents, we don't need you to do anything. Just letting you know, making sure you're aware in case you hear something, or in case there's a rumor or somewhere around town that, oh, we got to get to school, we heard a message, we don't know what's going on. Please understand it's just a drill, just practice. Tomorrow, I guess this is a drill for tomorrow. It's just to prepare if it was real. But what if it was real? We want to make sure that as parents, and it's very difficult to do, I know, is to remain calm. In the case of, let's kind of default to the worst case scenario. If this was, a prolonged fire or things of that nature, those aren't too bad. I think most of us can take those. But if it was the worst case scenario that other schools around the country have seen, where you had an intruder or a threat in the school, that is very difficult to do, and we understand that. But we do need you to try to remain calm for your kids, because I'm sure you're calling them, they're calling you. Do not rush to the school. We meet every month as an emergency management team, which includes fire, police, and EMS. All of them say every time we go through the scenario, they do not want parents rushing to the scene, because they're going to be securing it, they're going to be locking everybody out, they're going to be trying to do their jobs, and it's be very difficult, I know, but please don't just rush to the school. If there's this, they just don't want you here. So wait to be informed where to reunite with your children. That'll be coming probably through us as the school, through Parent Link or some other means. We will communicate with you. Again, Parent Link, Facebook, Twitter, be listening, be sharing information if you can, and let people know as we can get out information to you. Please don't call us. If you're calling 349-3232, we won't be here. We're not answering the phone. So please don't call us here. And many of you know my cell phone or other administrators' cell phones. Please don't be inundating those phones with calls either, because we're going to be trying to get a hold of EMS, possibly using a phone. We're going to be trying to communicate with our own staff and faculty. Just really try to wait for those communication means that we'll share with you, if in the case of a regular, a full-scale incident. Parent reunification is probably the most difficult part, and really one of the main reasons I'm sharing this video with you today. Let's say this is the worst-case scenario. A threat was in the school, a shooter was in the school, and we are getting your kids out. Our rules are flee, run. You're going to hide if you have to, and if last resort, fight. And that's what we preach to our kids. Now that's a different scenario. Run, hide, fight is different for a 12th grader than a kindergartner. But we're going to have kids in all three of those capacities probably if this event would happen, an event like this would happen. We're going to be gathering your kids up, some very rapidly because they've ran and they got out. Some it's going to take a while because they might be locked outside a classroom. They might be sheltered. They're waiting for law enforcement. So as those kids become available and we can get them out of the school, we're going to be taking them to a reunification area, an alternate sheltering location. That location will be secured. I mean, you have to realize, please, that when we move our kids there, we're going to be locking that place down probably as much as we'd lock the school down. We're going to make sure they're safe. We're going to have EMS, fire, other city workers, making sure that no threat can happen there as we move our children to that location. We're going to be directing you, be looking for signs to go to a waiting area, somewhere where we can stage the parents while we collect all of our kids, account for them, and make sure that they're who's with us. Why do we do that? I mean, why do we keep you separate? Why don't we just let you rush in and take your kids? Because one, in the case of a shooter, law enforcement's very specific. In their scenarios, what they're told at all levels is they aren't going to release kids until they know who the shooters are and who they have and who they don't have. Because many times it is kids. So we could have a perpetrator yet in the flock, and they want to make sure before they release them that they have that taken care of. So a lot of times in all the situations that we practice, kids get taken to an alternate location, they get left there, we're taking care of them, they're kind of secured inside the facility until law enforcement lets them out, lets us release them to you. So you need to be prepared for that. We will be doing a student accounting. Who do we have? Who don't we have? Who are we missing? The happy and the sad part of that is we know who we have. We're also taking consideration, what if we don't have a child? How can we be respectful to a family who maybe lost their child? And that's something none of us want to think about, but in preparing for situations like this, we think about that, and how can we do that in a respectful way? We've thought that by keeping them in secure location, because police want that, and releasing children to you in kind of a managed manner where we're checking them through, mom and dad and kid are unified together, probably in private, so you can reunify without the whole town watching you. We can do that in a way that if there is a family that unfortunately isn't reunited with their child, we can do that with respect and courtesy to that family. If you can, you will be in communication with your kids, we're sure. Please try to keep them calm too. It's just going to take, if this was real, it's just going to take some time to get all the kids safe, all the kids accounted for, and all the kids back to you. And that's what we want to do as rapidly as possible. So just to talk, again, just talking this through with you for probably the very first time, and trying to share some of our thoughts about what if this was really the worst of all things that could happen, and how we're going to try to get through that together. Again, tomorrow for the drill though, it's not a shooter. We're not telling at the kids. We're not playing that game. We're not role playing that. This is a fire drill. We're all going outside. We're going to go to our evacuation areas, and oh, you know what? Sorry, we got to go to a new location because for some reason this is going to take the fire department longer than normal. So we're going to move you to another location. We're going to take our kids by bus to that alternate location. You'll get a test call tomorrow, really short and sweet, and then we'll take the kids back to school again. Shouldn't take more than 30 minutes. So again, just sharing some ideas with you, some things that we've talked through at our monthly meetings. If you have any questions about this, if you have concerns, if you say, wow, I hadn't thought of that before, or you just want to ask me, have you thought of, are you considering this, please do give me a call. You can stop me anytime. We can talk about it, send me an email. I'd be glad to dialogue more about it. It's a weighty topic and one that all parties need to think through. So thank you for your time. Have a great day.